Alright guys, I'm going to try to keep you in frame most of the time. This is my new mill. It's a millwright by Powermatic, and it's a M as in Michael, V as in Victor, N as in Nancy. And I'm trying to figure out, so I've seen one guy mention and said something about this. This is called a jig wheel on your quill control. Well, mine doesn't have any return. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way or what. So I don't know if it's got a quill clock spring in here or not. So my thought is I pulled the handle loose real quick. I haven't looked at this yet. Well, I probably got to pull that wood drift key out. Okay, so that just sets that there. Okay. Let me get something to pull that wood drift key out, but I'm assuming this is not going to have a clock spring in it. But that set screw, that just sets where your dial indicator is. But let me pull that out. Let me grab something real quick. I'll get the wood drift key out, and I will see if it's got a clock spring in it. If it does, I'd love to put a clock spring in it. But so it's got a return. And I'd almost like to get rid of this handle. I mean, the wheel's nice, but I'd like to have just a normal quill handle on it. I don't know, this wouldn't be bad, but I mean, it's a mill, so I'm not complaining. Anyways, let me grab something real quick. All right, let's see. There's a small ball peen. There we go. And if you guys know anything, ooh, that's promising. I don't know what I'm getting into here. It's got some really nasty grease right there. That's probably gonna have to come apart. Should go get something a little finer than a chisel. I was just trying to get the crusties off. Is that a detent? There's some type of detent ball in there. All right, I'll get something else to get the crusty stuff off. Let me show you here. So there's a little detent there. Didn't really notice. There's nothing really in there, so that's probably, oh, okay. Heck, where did that come from? Okay, inside there. All right, well, I didn't know that was in there. There's a little ball there. Let's put that down there. Anyways, I'll have to figure out how or why that was in there. There's nothing in there to detent. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe there's supposed to be something in there. I don't know. We'll keep researching, but I will keep an eye on. Nope, that's just nothing. And there's no spring in there. Okay. So that ball goes underneath the set screw, it looks like. Alright. Let me get you guys back on my shirt here. That was kind of the easiest way to have you guys be able to see what I was doing there. If you guys know anything at all about this mill, let me know. especially about putting a quill handle on it. I would love to put a quill handle on this. I feel like it'd be a little more usable. Hopefully there's a broken spring in here that I can replace, because I would like it to return up like a typical mill, but maybe not. Hopefully I don't have anything fall out that I can't figure out where it goes back in it, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never taken one of these apart at all, but I'm typically not afraid of taking stuff apart. Okay, this feels like a gear. It is a gear. There's nowhere for a quill spring. Obviously, this is a big chunk of metal, and there's nowhere that a spring will go onto. I mean, at least that looks decent. I mean, it doesn't look like it was greased in a while. It's got like some nasty grease on it, so maybe we'll clean that up before we put it back together. Well, I guess, you guys, I'm asking for help now. Do you guys know any way to convert this over somehow to put a quill spring on this? If you guys have any ideas, I would love to hear it. I would love this head to return. Or if I'm missing something, you know, if a quill spring is supposed to be in there, because there is a gap. There is some room in between this and this. Obviously, I can pull this set screw off. But there is some room inside of there, so maybe, and there's a small hole there. You know, there's a small indentation there, so maybe a spring is supposed to hook in there and be inside of this piece. I'm not quite sure how you would get that loaded. Well, and there's no detent in here to hold a spring, so never mind, that can't be. Anyways, well, if you guys know more about this, which it wouldn't take much to know more about this mill than me, it is a Powermatic Burke, but it's a millwright. It seems like it's a nice little machine. Single phase 220. It's a MVN model number. You know, it's got the square. I think these are called DIN. It's either a 70, I don't remember what size, 76, 78, 79, something. I actually need to find that out, because the handle for that is broken for the knee. I still have the 2x4 in it from when I brought it to the house. I just brought it here a couple days ago. I've got it sprayed down with oil. And anyways, I would like to put a spring detent on this for the quill. So I guess you guys let me know if you know anything about this mill, and I would love it if you help me out. So I'm just going to grease this with my really good grease that I normally use, and I guess if I'm not supposed to use like normal, you know, a high quality wheel bearing grease, I guess also let me know that, but I would assume that that would be a good grease for this. So I'm going to go through and grease everything that I can find grease zerks for. It doesn't look like there's too many, mainly on the quill for the most part. I know I need to oil everything else down, but I am going to wait until I figure out this and get it powered up and everything, and then I'm going to put it in an environmentally controlled room. For right now, it's sitting at the back of my shop. I'm going to cover it up with a tarp and stuff so it doesn't rust. It's got a lot of cutting oil on it, which should protect it. You know, it's got tons of cutting oil on it. But anyways, I'll get it back together. You guys let me know what I'm supposed to do, or if I can even make a spring return on this quill and switch it over to a normal handle. So thanks for watching, and help me out. Thanks.